October 23rd, 1936. Professor Syed asked, "What is salvation? What did Christ mean by it?" Salvation for whom? And from what? Well, salvation for the individual and from the sorrows of the world. Whose are the sorrows? Of the mind? Are you the mind? Well, let me explain how this question arose. You see, I was meditating and began to reflect on the grace shown by Christ to some devotees who got salvation. And I consider that Sri Bhagavan is similar to Christ. So is not salvation the result of similar grace? That is what I mean by my questions. Yes, right. The booklet Who Am I speaks of Swarupa Dristi, seeing the essence. Then there must be a seer in the seen. So how can this be reconciled with the ultimate unity? Why do you ask for salvation and release from sorrow and such things? He who asks for them sees them also. The fact is this: dristi, or sight, is consciousness. It forms the subject and object. Can there be dristi apart from the self? The self is all. It is dristi, the sight or object, and all else. Well, how to discern the ego from the perfect I? That which rises and falls is the transient I. That which has neither origin nor end is the permanent I consciousness. Will continuous thought on the self make the mind more and more refined so that it will not think of anything but the highest? There is the peaceful mind which is the supreme. When the same becomes restless, it is afflicted by thoughts. Mind is only the dynamic power of the self, the Shakti. Are the sheaths, the kosas, material and different from the self? There is no difference between matter and spirit. Modern science admits that all matter is energy. Energy is power or force, Shakti. Therefore, all are resolved in Shiva and Shakti, that is, the self and the mind. The kosas, the sheaths, are mere appearances. There is no reality in them as such. Well, how many hours a day should one devote to meditation? Your very nature is meditation. It will be so when ripe, but it is not so now. You become conscious of it later. That does not mean that your nature is now different from meditation. But then what about practice? Meditation must always be practiced. Well, the Persian mystic says, there is nothing but God. And the Quran says, God is immanent in all. There is no all apart from God for him to pervade, for he alone is. Is it morally right for a man to renounce his household duties upon realizing that his highest duty is continuous thought on the self? This desire to renounce things is the obstacle. The self is simple renunciation, and the self has renounced all. It is true from Bhagavan's standpoint, but for us, my work demands the best part of my time and energy, and often I am too tired to devote myself to this continuous thought on the self. The feeling I work is the hindrance. Inquire who works. Remember, who am I? The work will not bind you. It will go on automatically. Make no effort either to work or to renounce work. Your effort is the bondage. What is bound to happen will happen. If you are destined to cease working, work cannot be had even if you hunt for it. If you are destined to work, you cannot leave it. You will be forced to engage in it. So leave it to the higher power. You cannot renounce or hold as you choose. How is all immanent God said to reside in the ether of the heart? Do we not reside in one place? Do you not say that you are in your body? Similarly, God is said to reside in the ether of the heart lotus. And the heart lotus is not a place. Some name is mentioned as the place of God because we think we are in the body. This kind of instruction is meant for those who can appreciate only relative knowledge. Being immanent everywhere, there is no particular place God exists. Because we think we are in the body, we believe that we are born. However, we do not think of the body, of God, or of the method of realization in our deep slumber. Yet in our waking state, we hold on to the body and think we are in it. The Supreme Being is that from which the body is born, in which it lives, and into which it resolves. However, we think that we reside within the body, and hence such instruction is given. And the instruction really means, look within. Dr. Syed continued, how is grace to be obtained? Similar to obtaining the self. But practically, how is it to be for us? By self-surrender. Grace was said to be the self. Should I then surrender to my own self? Yes, to the one from whom grace is sought. God, Guru, and self are only different forms of the same. Well, please explain so I may understand. So long as you think you are the individual, you believe in God. On worshiping God, He appears to you as Guru. On serving Guru, He manifests as the Self. Well, there are widespread disasters in the world, and famine and pestilence. What is the cause of this state of affairs? To whom does all this appear? That won't do. I see misery all around. You were not aware of the world and its sufferings in your sleep. You are conscious of them in your wakeful state. Continue in that state in which you were not afflicted by these. That is to say, when you are not aware of the world, its sufferings do not affect you. When you remain as the self, just as in sleep, The world and its sufferings will not affect you. Therefore, look within. See the self. There will be an end of the world and its miseries. But that seems selfishness. The world is not external. Because you identify yourself wrongly with the body, you see the world outside, and its pain becomes apparent to you. But they are not real. Seek reality and get rid of this unreal feeling. Well, there are great men, public workers, who cannot solve the problem of the misery of the world. They are ego-centered, hence their inability. If they remained as the self, it would be different. Well, then why do Mahatmas not help? How do you know they do not help? Public speeches, physical activity, and material help are all outweighed by the silence of the Mahatmas. They accomplish more than others. What is to be done by us for ameliorating the condition of the world? If you remain free from pain, there will be no pain anywhere. The trouble now is due to your seeing the world externally and also thinking that there is pain there. But both the world and the pain are within you. If you look within, there will be no pain. Well, God is perfect, but why did he create the world imperfect? The work shares the nature of the author, but here it appears not so. Who is it that raises the question? Well, I, the individual. Are you apart from God that you ask this question? So long as you consider your body, yourself as the body, you see the world as external. The imperfections appear to you. God is perfection. His work also is perfection. But you see it as imperfection because of your wrong identification. Why did the self manifest as this miserable world? In order that you might seek it. Your eyes cannot see themselves. Place a mirror before them and they see themselves. In a similar way with the creation, so see yourself first and then see the whole world as the self. So you're saying it amounts to this, that I should always look within? Yes. Should I not see the world at all? You are not instructed to shut your eyes from the world. You are only to see yourself first and then see the whole world as the self. If you consider yourself as the body, the world appears to be external. If you are the self, the world appears as Brahman, the absolute consciousness.